They say fire can destroy everything, but sometimes it awakens you. That year, after Emma returned to my village, after she handed me that fresh notebook, something inside me changed. For the first time, I had a blank space to write my story, not just in my mind, but on paper, and I filled it fast. Not with perfect grammar or pretty handwriting, but with hunger, the hunger to become. I started writing everything: thoughts, dreams, new English words, numbers, phrases I picked up from tourists, sentences I copied from torn newspapers Oba brought from the market. My favorite entry: one day I will leave this place, not to escape it, but to return stronger. Mama Kemi saw me scribbling one evening and chuckled, "You write like the ancestors are watching." I smiled. "Maybe they are." She patted my head and said, "Then make them proud." I didn't know how to make spirits proud, but I knew I wanted to make her proud. That was enough. But dreaming didn't mean life got easier. In fact, it got harder. Our village had a drought. The crops failed. Hunger returned, worse than before. Children cried at night, and mothers had nothing to offer them but lullabies made of lies. Oba's little brother died from malaria. He was only 5. That shook me. I remember sitting by the river, staring into the water, wondering how a life so small could end so easily, while the world kept moving. I wrote one sentence that day in my notebook. One day, I will build a place where no child dies from something that can be cured. I didn't know how, but I knew why. And sometimes, why is more powerful than how. One day, an older man named Babatunde came to the village. He was visiting his relatives, wore glasses too big for his nose, and carried a radio tied to his waist with string. He saw me reading near a tree and said, "You like books?" I nodded. He handed me a small English dictionary, worn but intact. Said, "Take it. Cost me a goat once, but maybe you'll pay me back with greatness." That dictionary became my treasure. Every day I learned 5 new words. I wrote them, spoke them, taught them to Oba. I'd shout random words to the sky like some crazy prophet. Persevere, destiny, transform. Mama thought I was going mad. I thought I was waking up. Then came the fire, literally. One evening, a kerosene lamp spilled in the hut next to ours. Flames spread fast, through thatched roofs, dry mud walls, wood and clothes. Our huts were packed close. There was no stopping it. People screamed. Water was scarce. It took only minutes to become a nightmare. Our home was next. I grabbed Mama and we ran. No time for anything. No food, no blanket, nothing. I looked back and saw our roof burning, and my notebook, my only notebook, was still inside. I froze. Mama screamed, "AYO, no!" But I ran back in. The smoke was thick, the heat unbearable, but I saw it. On the floor near the fire, half of it already blackened. I grabbed it and dashed out before the roof collapsed behind me. I coughed for hours, my lungs burned, but I saved the pages that mattered. Later, Oba came and said, "You're crazy." I smiled, barely able to speak. Maybe, but now I have fire in my eyes too. 2 days later, Emma returned. The fire had destroyed half the village. She brought aid, blankets, food, medical help, and she found me sitting under a tree, flipping through my charred notebook. She stared at it, then at me. "You saved it?" she asked. I nodded. "Why?" "Because it's my life," I said. "It's everything I am, and everything I want to be." She looked at me for a long time. Then she did something I never expected. She said, "Would you come to America, AYO, if I could help make it happen?" My heart stopped. I thought I misheard. Me? Leave? Yes. Study. Grow, learn, become who you're meant to be. I looked at the ruins of our hut, at Mama's tired face, at Oba still barefoot, still smiling despite everything. I whispered yes, then louder, yes! But nothing was that easy. Papers, passports, visas, sponsorship, tests, approvals. It took months and money. Emma went back, but stayed in touch. Letters, video calls, support. Her family tried to help legally. I had to take a basic English exam in the nearest town. I had never even sat in a real classroom, so I studied, harder than ever. Oba and I made flashcards from leaves. Mama quizzed me with broken English. Babatunde drilled me with his radio broadcasts. The day of the test, I wore my best shirt, faded but clean. I walked into the hall like I was walking into battle. I passed. Barely, but I passed. The night before I left, Mama took my hand. She said, "You are leaving poor, but don't return poor in spirit. Let struggle teach you, not define you." I hugged her so tight I could barely breathe. She held me and whispered, "Go fly, my son. I will wait for the sky to carry you back." I didn't sleep that night. I sat outside our half-rebuilt hut, notebook in my lap, stars above, heart racing. I looked at the sky. I remembered the plane, the sound, the dream. Tomorrow, I would be inside one, not watching from below, but rising. Fire in my eyes, hope in my chest, dust on my feet. This was no longer just survival, this was transformation. Next time, I'll tell you about landing in America. The shock, the shame, the language, the loneliness, and the first time I truly failed.